So we were talking about the prefix and the postfix operators. So let's start with just, it's a revision. We had already discussed about it, but quickly we will recollect what it was. So prefix, when the increment or a decrement operator are written before the operand, before the variable, they are termed as prefix operator. And the principle on which prefix operator works is change before action. This is a principle on which prefix operators works. They works on the principle of change before action. For example, we have seen that if m is equal to 6 and n is equal to 12, so what we find that if I write plus plus m, if you write plus plus m, then the value of, then you will find that the value of m will change and its value will become 7. And if I write minus minus n, then its value of n, which is 12, will change to 11. Okay. We already discussed this. And postfix. Now postfix works on the principle of change after action. And whenever the increment or decrement of operators are written after the operand, after the variable, they are termed as postfix operators. Okay. And postfix operators works on the principle of change after operation. Okay, like m is equal to 6 and n is equal to 12. So when I will write m plus plus, it will change to 7 after the action, and the same way n minus minus will become 11 after the action. So we have discussed this. Now we started with this example as well. Okay, so we will turn on our Bluetooth and we will find out how to get the solution of this. Okay, so I will stop this now. Okay, and let's go back to. Okay, so here we were. Okay, so we have discussed this one. Okay, the last example was a is equal to 3, and then we have seen plus plus a. So it's a pre, so its value becomes 4, then 4 becomes 3, and then 3 will become 4, but right now it remains 3 only, and that's why our answer was coming 10. Okay, now what we will do, we will start with another example. Let's take another example. What's our example? Integer b is equal to 8. Okay, integer b is equal to 8, and let's talk about this example. I copy this, you put it in comment. This part goes in a comment, and let's, integer b is equal to 8, b is equal to b plus 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 b minus plus plus b. Chalo, quickly say me class, what's the answer? Type your answers in the chat box. Seven, 9. Okay, very good. I got two different answers. 9. Okay. So Krishna has given me the answer. Krishna has given me the answer as 9. Mrugal, Mohnish, Kavya has given me the answer as 7. Atharva has given the answer as 9. Okay, so I'm getting 9 and 7 as two options. Okay, very good. Come on, give me some more responses. Whosoever is left to give the response, please type your answer. Okay, so let's compile it and see what's the answer. Okay, so we will first look at the answer, but I am getting only two possible answers. Some of them are saying 7 and some of them are saying 9, but I got one more answer now, 8. So let's see what's the right answer. Okay, so let's execute it and see what's the right answer. So class, what's the right answer? So the right answer is 7. Okay, and it's not 9, but it's 7. Let's understand how it is 7. See, now what's the initial value of B? So the initial value of B is 8. Okay, now we start. So B plus plus, is it pre or post? So it is post. So it will work on the principle of change after action. So here it will remain 8 only. But the moment it will remain 8, after that it will become 9. And then here what I have plus plus b. So it is pre or post. So this one is pre now. So it will change before the action. So 8 has become 9 and then 9 has become 10. It has become 10 and then minus. Now plus plus b means again it is pre. It will work on the principle of change before action. So here 10 will become 11. So 8 plus 10, 18. 18 minus 11 and 18 minus 11 is 7. All of you getting it? Why it is 7 beta? Okay. See, here it is b plus plus. So it will work on the principle of change after action. So 8 remains 8. But the moment this part is done, it will become 9. And 9. And this is pre. So it will change before the action. So 9 has become 10. And that's why 8 plus 10. And then minus. So minus sign as it is. And plus plus b. So 10 will become 11. So it becomes 8 plus 10 minus 11, which is coming out to be 8 plus 10, 18. 18 minus 11 is 7. All of you, is it very clear? Please type yes in the chat box. Okay. Chalo, we will take one more example now. Okay. We'll take one more example, the third one. A little difficult and having two variables. Okay. So the third one we will take. So this all goes in a comment. Now this one. We find integer a is equal to 6, y is equal, x is equal to 3, integer x is equal to 3, integer y is equal to 6, and integer z is equal to plus plus x plus y minus minus plus x minus minus plus y plus. Chalo. Now say me what will be the answer. Take your time. We are not in a hurry, beta. We are absolutely not in a hurry. Take your time and give me the answer. Very good, Krishna. Chalo, let's see whether the answer is right or wrong. Very good, Mrugal. Monish. Okay. A different answer from Monish. No problem. Just do it carefully. Look at pre, post, and accordingly decide. Okay, Kavya has given me one more answer. Okay, I want your answer. Whether it is right or wrong is a different case. I need to know. I need to know the answer. Okay. So what I will do now, I will execute it and let's see what's the answer, because I'm getting different answers, a variety of answers. Okay. So as we get the variety of answers, then it becomes little interesting to get the answer. Okay. So let me execute. Let me execute it and let's see the answer. Okay. So let's execute and see the answer. What's the answer? So the answer is 20. So 27 is not the answer, 19 is not the answer, 21 is also not the answer, 19 is also not the answer, 18 is also not the answer. The answer is 20. Now, how is it 20? Chalo, let's find it out how the answer is coming out to be 20. Class, I want all of you to come up with common answer. Okay, no problem. X plus plus. What's the value of x? The value of x is 3. And plus plus x. Now, is it pre or post? So, obviously, it is pre. So, it means it will change before action. So, my value of this will become, x will become 4 here. Okay, 4 plus. Okay, then y minus minus means it works on the principle of change after action. So what's the value of y? Y is 6 and it will change to 5. But right now it will remain 6 only. So it becomes 6 plus. Okay, now x, what is the value of x? X has become 4 and this is x minus minus. So it will become 3 after the action because it is a post-fix operator. So here it will still remain 4 only and now it has become 3 and plus and y plus plus. Now remember what's the value of y here? Y was 6 initially but it was y minus minus. So here it will remain 6. Now it has become 5. Now when we use 5 here, so 5 plus plus y, it's a pre, so it will change before the option, it will become 6. Okay, so what we get? 6 plus 4, 10. 4 plus 6, 10. 10 plus 10, 20. So our answer is coming out to be 20. Understand how it is, beta? Plus plus x. Yes, yes. Okay, I will again explain, don't worry. See, what's the initial value of x? 3. What's the initial value of y? 6. So plus plus x means it is pre. You have to think in this way, the way I am saying. Plus plus x. So think whether it's pre or post. So it is pre. So it will change before the action. So here itself make it 4. Okay, so my x is 4 now. Then plus. So the plus sign as it is. Then y minus minus. Pre or post? Post. So it will change after the action. So after the action. So what's the value of initial value of y? So y is 6, but it will become 5. So right now I will take 6 and then it will become 5. So remember now the y of value is no more 6 but 5. Okay, then plus and then x minus minus. So what's the initial value of x? 3. It has changed here to 4. So here it will remain 4 and then it will become 3. So right now it will be 4 plus. Now remember what was the value of 6? The 6 value has changed here to 5 and 5 plus plus 1 means 5 will become 6. So that's why it's coming out to be 20. Clear, class? So any doubts now? Otherwise, let's solve the second one, the next one. Okay, sure. Now let's solve the next one. Now, what's the value of A? 12. B, 18. Sure. Write down.
क्यों? कौन कुछ है? नहीं पता. पता नहीं सर की आवाज क्यों नहीं आ रही?
What happened? I can hear you. Solve this beta quickly. Okay, so ah, okay. So do you think you'll get the answer in fraction? Okay, okay. Chalo. So let's solve it and then find out what's the answer. Okay. So I compile it. Wait a minute, there is a semicolon missing. So I close it now. Let's see the answer. And what the answer we get? We get the answer as 26. So how many of you have given the answer as 26? I'm pretty sure they are quite okay. Arya Mutta has given the answer as 26. That's brilliant. Murugal has given the answer as 26. Okay. So only two students have given the answer as 26. Okay. So let's see how we are getting the answer as 26. Okay. See here. Now, what's the initial value of A? The initial value of A is 12. Okay. And it is plus A. What it is? It is plus A. So plus A means it will change before action. It's a prefix operator. So it will change before the action. So here it becomes 13 divided by 6 plus 13 divided by 6 plus B plus plus. Now what's the initial value of B? The initial value of B is 8. Okay, and 8 plus plus. So it's a postfix operator. So it will change after the operation. So right now it remains 8 only. 8 into 3. Okay, so the answer is 13 divided by 6. Now when you divide 13 by 6, what's the answer? Okay, so if you solve, you'll come to know that it is 13 by 6. Okay, so you'll come to know that whenever you divide 13 by 6, your answer 13, whenever you divide it by 6, your answer comes out to be 2 point something. Yes or no? 13 divided by 6, it's 2 point something, which is 2.16. Exactly speaking, it's 2.16. So what do you think? The computer will take the answer. 13 divided by 6. Do you think the computer will take the answer as 2.16? No, beta. Why? Because what's the value of A? A is integer. And what is 6? 6 is also integer. So remember, whenever integer is divided by integer, the computer will take only the integer part of it. So 13 divided by 6, the computer will take only the integer part of it, and the integer part of 2.16 is only 2. So this is 2 plus 8 3s are 24. So 24 plus 2 will come out to be 26. So what's our answer? So our answer is coming out to be 26. Clear class? All of you getting it? Why the answer is coming 26? Please type yes if you are getting it. Okay. Chalo, now let's solve the another one. The next one. Let's start with the next one. And let's solve the last one. This one. X is equal to 3. Y is equal to 6. We have done this.
Yes, sir, we have done this.
We have done this. We have done this.
So,
Yes. Yes. So we have done. We are left with this one. Fourth one. Fifth one. Chalo, start. Give me the answer. Very good, Krish. Very good, Mughal. Okay. So I'm getting multiple answers. Okay. Again, a variation in the answer, but that's okay. Chalo. So let's compile it first and let's see what's the answer. Okay. So let's compile it and see the answer. So what is our answer? So the answer is coming out to be 12. Okay. Now why the answer is 12? Chalo. Now let's find it out. It's again very simple. So it is x plus plus. What's the value of x? 4. Is it pre or post? So it is post. So it will change on the, it will change after the action. So what will be the value of x? So x will be 4 right now. And it has become 5. The moment we are done with that plus plus sign, after this, the value of x will become 5. Okay. So 5 into, now plus plus x. So 5 and this is plus plus x. Is it post or pre? So it is pre. So it will change before the action. So here it will become 6, right? And 6 divided by 2. Okay. So what computer will do now? Which operation will be performed first? Okay. So here you will find that left to right associativity is there. So first the multiplication will be performed and then the division will be performed. So 6 fours are 24. 24 divided by 2. So 24 divided by 2, what's the answer? So 24 divided by 2, the answer is 12. So that's why you are getting the answer as 12. Getting it class C. When you compile it, your answer is coming out to be 12. Hello. Hi. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so let's solve one more now. Okay, the last one we are going to solve, and I hope all of you give me the right answer now. Okay, so let's solve one more. Write down integer z is equal to 6 and y is equal to 2. Now integer a is equal to plus z into y minus plus y into plus z. Chalo. Now I want all of you to give the right answer of this. Now I want all of you giving me the right answer for this. Okay, beta. Let's see what's the value of a. Oh my God. Nishant, what is your answer? Nishant Jadhav? Is this your answer, beta? Oh my God. Okay. So I'm getting different answers, but common answer. Okay, okay. Chalo. So let me execute. We will do the first thing. We'll first execute and see the answer. What's the answer? Very good. So there are ample number of students, those who have given the answer as 18 as well. Okay. So let's find out how it is 18. Okay. So look at it. All of you again pay attention. Plus z. So what's the initial value of z? 6. Plus z will make it 7 because it's a free. So it will make it 7. 7 into. Okay. Into y plus. Now what's the value of y? Y is 2. But plus will make it 3. So it will make it 3 later on. Right now it will keep it 2 only. Exactly. Because it's a postfix. Now the value of y has become 3. 3 minus. Exactly. Now understand what's the value of y? 2. So here it will come 2 because it's a post. And after this, when it reaches to this point, the value of y has become 3. 3 minus and plus y. So it is 3 now. So 3 will become 4. So it will become 4. Plus. Now what was the value of z? So z was 6. Here it has become 7. And then you will find here the 7 will become 8. Why? Because it is 3. Okay. So now if you try to solve this, it will become 7 into 2 minus 4 plus 8. So 7 into 2. This will be solved first. So it is 14. 14 minus 4 plus 8. So what will happen here? So 14 minus 4 will be what? 14 minus 4 is 10. 10 plus 8. So 10 plus 8 will be 18. So that's why you find your answer is coming out to be 18. Clear, class? See, what's our answer, beta? So our answer is coming out to be 18. Okay. So those who are making a mistake, I want all of you to practice this. Okay. Please have a good practice of this. In your textbook, you will find there are many problems on the similar lines. Okay. So I want all of you to practice this. Even I will share one worksheet. There you will find we are having n number of questions on the similar line. Clear class? Chalo. So all of you, should I start with a new topic? Should I start with a new topic, class?
Yes.
Okay. So only Palak is saying to start with a new topic. Acha, Athar is also saying to start with. I want all of you to respond at least this much. Okay, very good, class. So let me stop with this one. And let's start with our presentation only. So we have discussed these examples now. Okay, we have done all these examples. Okay, prefix and postfix examples. Now we'll start with binary operators. Binary operators are no big deal because binary operators are simple one. Okay, so binary operators are the operators that operate on two operands. That's why we call them binary. You remember why we called unary operators? Because we observed that they were acting on a single operand, plus plus a plus plus, or minus minus a, or a minus minus. So they were acting on a single variable, on a single operand. That's why we call them unary. On the similar lines, we say binary. Binary means two. So the operators that operate on two operands or two variables are said to be binary operators. Now, how many binary operators we have? So we have 5 binary operators. Which are they? Plus, minus, multiplication, division, and modulus. Okay, so these are our 5 binary operators. Okay, so here, if I write a plus b, so it is a, I'm using the plus sign as a binary operator there. I'm using, if I write a plus b, so here you will find, if I write a plus b. So here, which is my operator? My operator is plus, but you will find that it is acting on two operators, two operands, sorry, a and b. These are my two operands, or we can call them as variables. So that's why it is a binary operator. The same way I can write a minus b. So here minus is my binary operator because it is working, it is acting on two operands, on two variables. The same way a divided by b, and the same way a multiplied by b. So we know about it, but the only new thing here is my modular sign. We don't have a modular sign in maths, but if I write a modulo b, what does that mean? So here the percentage sign what we use is actually called as modulus. Okay, and the interesting part of it, it gives remainder after division. Okay, what we call this? We call this operator as modulus, or we call it as remainder operator. Okay, this operator beta, the percentage sign, this operator is called as modulus, or we also called it as a remainder operator. There are two names to this operator. You call it as a modulus operator, or you call it as a remainder operator. And the interesting part of this is what it returns. So it always returns the remainder after division. Okay, so if you want to get the division, we get it by the division sign, but if you want to get the remainder after division, so let me explain you a bit with the help of an example. Look at this example. Now, 10 divided by 3. What will be the answer? 10 divided by 3 will return 3.33. Okay, why? Because that's how 10 divided by 3 you will get the answer. This is your quotient. Okay, now what will be the remainder? So, if I use 10 modulo 3, it will return 1. How it will return 1? Try to understand. See, 10 modulo 3. So for modulo 3, you have to use division only, but you have to focus on the remainder. So 10 divided by 3. So we know 3 3s are 9. Now what is left? 1 is left. But can it be further solved? No. So technically in maths, what we do, we give a decimal point after 3 and then we add 0 here and we keep on solving. But if you use a modulo sign, then computer will stop there itself, because 3 is not divisible by 1 and the answer will be 1 only. So this value will be returned as a remainder after division. Clear class? All of you getting it? What is modulo sign? Class, are you getting me? What is modulo sign? Please respond. If you are pretty sure,
Yes, sir.
okay. So, okay. So, let me take some more examples of modules. Okay. So, now you say me class, if I write 58 modulo, sorry, 57 modulo 10, what will be the answer? Type your answers. Instead of saying yes, it's better you type your answer. Okay, Soham has answered, Krish has answered. Come on, do it and say me what will be the answer. 57 modulo 10. Only two of them. No, Avnita, Krish, wrong. Avnita and Krish, you are wrong. Arya, your answer is right, beta. 57. Beta, I am asking 57 modulo 10. Mrugal, I am asking 57 modulo 10. Krishna, 57 modulo 10. What will be the answer? Ah, that's correct, Mrugal. Krishna, what's the answer? And what about others? Okay, chalo. Let me show you what will be the answer if it is 57 modulo 10. Okay, so I will use a pencil now. Okay, so what is will be the answer? It will be 57 modulo 10. So what we will get? 10 ones are 10, 10 twos are 20, 10 threes are 30, 10 fives are 50. 10 fives are 50. Clear? 10 fives are 50. Now what is left? 7. 57 minus 50 is 7. Now is 7 divisible by 10? No. So what will be, what value it will return? So it will return the value as 7. Exactly. Beta Krishna, what answer it will return? It will return 7. It will return the remainder after division. Okay. Remember, this is the principle on which it works. Remainder after division. Clear all of you? Let me give one more example. 27 modulo 5. Say me quickly. 27 modulo 5. Very good. Yes. Very good. Very good, Krishna. Yes. Yes, Palak. Monish. Yes. बाप रे. श्लोक ऐसा क्यों रे मेरा बेटा 27 modulo 5. Shloक, is it a typing mistake, Shloक? Please check. Okay, so 27 modulo 5. Let's understand. So it's very simple. 27 modulo 5. So this is my 27. So 27 modulo 5. So 5 5s are 25. Okay, so 27 minus 25. What's the remainder? 2. Okay, so what we get as a remainder? We get the remainder as 2. So what's the answer? So the answer is 2. All of you getting it? So what's the answer? It is. Chalo, now I will give you one more, the last one. Okay, and I want all of you to give me the right answer. Okay, if you are not getting the right answer, means you are not understanding. I say 38 modulo 7. Krish, 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 Krish. Please check it properly. Krish, your answer is wrong. Yes, yes. Now it is correct, beta. Yes, Kavya, that's correct. 38 modulo 7. What will be the answer? Yes, now you are giving me the right answer. Understand. 38 modulo 7. So this will be my 38 modulo 7. So 7 ones are 7. 7 fives are 35. 7 fives are 35. Okay. Then 38 minus 35. What's the remainder? The remainder is 3. Now is 3 divisible by 7? No. So what computer will return? Computer will return 3. Palak, it's not going to be 5 beta. 5 is the quotient. It's a quotient. Okay. I want the remainder. If you write 38 divided by 7, then you will get the pi. Okay. Then you will get the answer as 5. Right now you will get the answer as 3. So binary operator is clear. Now let's start with ternary operator. Now what's the interesting part of ternary operator? The ternary operator operates on 3 operands. Unary operates on a single operand. Binary works on 2 operands. And ternary, it acts on 3 operands. It acts on 3 operands, or it acts on 3 variables. That's why it is called as ternary operator. It is also called as, what is another name for ternary operator? It is called as conditional operator, because the value assigned to a variable depends upon the logical expression or condition. Let's understand ternary operator. It's again a very interesting one. Why it is called as ternary? Because it operates on 3 operators, 3 operands. It acts on 3 operands, and it is also called as conditional operators. Why? Because the value assigned to a variable depends on a logical expression or a condition. So here in this ternary operator, we are going to use a logical expression, or we can say we use a condition. See how it is. So this is the general syntax of ternary operator. So what we have, so first thing we have is a variable. What the first thing we have? We have a variable. So we have a variable here. Then we have is equal to, then here we have a test expression. This is our text expression. And then we have 2 expressions. Expression 1 and expression 2. Okay. Now, how it works? So it works in a very simple format. If this text expression, now understand about this text expression. This is a text expression where we are going to use some condition. Okay. So whenever we use a condition, then the condition will be either true or false. So what will happen? You will find your condition will be either true or false. Okay. So whenever you are going to frame a condition here, your condition will either be true or false. Now understand, if your condition comes out to be true, if your condition, this test expression, if it comes out to be true, then whatever is the value of this expression, that will get stored in a variable. That will get stored in a variable. Okay. This is when the condition comes out to be true. When the condition is true. But this test expression can be false as well. So if this text expression comes out to be false, then expression 2 value will get stored in the variable. Then which value will get stored in the variable? Expression 2 variable value. Expression 2 value will get stored in a variable. This will happen when the condition is false. When the condition is false. So understand how it works. So we have a text expression and we have two expressions, expression 1 and expression 2. If this text expression comes out to be true, then expression 1's value will get stored in the variable, and if the text expression comes out to be false, then expression 2 value will get stored in a variable. Okay, and you will find we have a text expression, then we have a question mark, and then we have a colon. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, this is how it works. Text expression, expression 1 comma expression 2. So this is how it actually works, bachcha log. Please write down this. Okay. Please write down. Now assume, okay, I clear this now. Now here if the text expression is true, then expression 1 value will be assigned to a variable, and if false, then expression 2 value will be assigned. Okay, let's take the example. Look at this example. A is 5 and B is 3. Okay. Now what we will do, we will write int max is equal to, in the bracket A greater than B, question mark A colon B. Okay, so what you will find here now, let's understand the parts of it. What is this? So this is your test expression, and this is your expression 1, and this is your expression 2. Okay. Now what will happen? A greater than B, is it true or false? So you will find A is 5 and B is 3, so it comes out to be true, because A is 5 and B is 3, and we are in the text expression, we are checking A is greater than B, and the answer is right. Yes, A is greater than B. So since A is greater than B, we can call this as true. So this text expression comes out to be true. And now since this is true, so the value of A, understand class, the value of A will get stored in a variable max. What will get stored in a variable max? The value of A. And what's the value of A? The value of A is 5. So 5 will get stored in a variable max. Getting it? All of you, are you getting it clear, beta? Or any further doubts you have in this? Please give me a response. Okay. Because then when I'm going to ask you the questions on this, I want all of you to answer it. Okay. Okay. Now assume if I write A is less than B. Okay. A is less than B. So what's the value of A? 5. What's the value of B? 3. So A, I'm changing it. I'm just for the sake of explaining you, I'm saying that assume this sign is not greater than, but this sign is less. Now what will happen? So is it true? No, because A is 5 and B is 3. So 5 is greater than 3? No. So this condition will come out to be false. And since this condition is coming out to be false, now the value of B will get stored in max. So what will the value of max then? The value of max will be 3. If I write A less than. Class, are you getting it, beta? Okay. Here the value of the variable max will be 5 because the expression is coming out to be true. Okay. So this is how our ternary operator is. Now before starting with the next thing, I will test you little more on ternary operators. So let me. Okay. So let's test ternary operators. Okay. Now I will delete this all. And now all of you give me the answer. Same class. Now, what is the value of the variable a and s? What's the value of the variable a and s? I compile it, it's not showing any error. So now say me, what is the value of the variable a and s? Okay, so I will compile it and let's see the answer. Okay, so let's see the answer. What's the answer of this? So you find the answer is coming 94. Now let's understand how the answer is coming 94. So what's the value of A? 28. What's the value of B? 66. So A less than B. Is it true? A is 28 and B is 66. Is this text expression comes out to be true? Yes, because B is bigger. So B is greater than A. So this expression comes out to be true. Since this expression comes out to be true, what will do? Computer will follow this expression and this expression's value will get stored in A and S. So what's the value of, what is this expression resulting in? A plus B. 66 plus 28. Okay. So this answer, this addition is coming out to be, and this answer is getting stored in our variable a and s. Means 66 plus 28. What's the answer of 66 plus 28? It is 94. So that's why 94 is getting stored in the variable a and s. So this value gets stored in a variable a and s. I hope you are getting it, class. Okay. Now say me what will be the answer of this. Say me what will be the answer of this. Okay. So what's the answer? The answer is coming out to be minus 38. Now you will be assuming why it is not 38, why it is minus 38. Okay, because this expression is coming out to be false. What is this expression? This expression is coming out to be false. A is greater than B. What's the value of A? 28. 28 is greater than 66? No. So this value, A minus B, will get stored in variable A and S. Now A is what? 28. 28 minus 66, obviously. So B is a bigger number, so it comes out to be minus 38. Okay. So this is what we are getting the answer. Okay. Now say me, I am taking another variables. Give me the answer. Say me what will the value of the variable ch. Okay, so what you will find, is this expression coming out to be true or false? So you will find P is 25 and Q is 19. Is P not equal to Q? Yes, P is not equal to Q because 25 is not equal to 98. So this expression comes out to be true. And since this expression is coming out to be true, this value, which is that M will get stored in a variable CH. Here you will find the value of CH is M. Okay. And if I use is equal to, now P is equal to Q? No. So this expression is coming out to be false. And that's why now you will find the answer is coming out to be S. This answer is coming out to be S. So I hope your idea is quite clear now how we use the ternary operator. Okay, so just we are left with one small point. We'll cover it. So we have done this. Now we will talk about shorthand operators in Java. Okay. So what are shorthand operators? So the binary operators available in the Java can also be written in a shorthand. So this is only for the binary operators which are available in Java. The table, let's look at this table. Okay. A shorthand operator can be used only when the variable acts as a argument. Let's look at the table first and then I will explain you what is shorthand operator. So shorthand operator is nothing but it is a way of writing an statement. It is a way in which you can write a statement. Like I want to write Q is equal to Q plus 5. So if I want to write Q is equal to Q plus 5, instead of writing Q is equal to Q plus 5, what I can do, I can write Q plus is equal to 5. What I can write? Q plus is equal to 5. So what is this? This is the shorthand form of this statement. Okay. You find that we have a shorthand form of this is my normal statement and this is the shorthand form of it. Now you will say, sir, why it is called as shorthand? So you will find here you are writing how many tokens? So you will find you are writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are writing 5 tokens. So instead of writing 5 tokens, you are writing only 4 tokens here. Q plus is equal to 5. So what's the meaning of this? It also means Q is equal to Q plus 5. But instead of writing Q is equal to Q plus 5, we write Q plus is equal to 5. The same way, if I want to write A is equal to A minus B, I can write A minus is equal to B. Both conveys the same meaning. Both the statements conveys the same meaning to the compiler. They are not different. The meaning is same. But instead of using a normal statement, you can use the same statement in a shorthand form. Like A is equal to A minus B. Instead of writing this, you can write A minus is equal to B. The same way, P is equal to P into 8. You can write P into is equal to 8. The same way, S is equal to S divided by 3. S divided is equal to 3. And M is equal to M modulo 4. M modulo is equal to 4. But understand one very important thing about shorthand operator, that if you want to use a shorthand operator, it can only be used. It can only be used when the variable, now which is my variable? My variable is P, A, Q, S and M. These variables acts as an accumulator or a counter. Means what I'm doing, I'm storing I'm adding the value of Q and 5 and storing it in Q only. Okay, if I want to use a shorthand operator, I cannot use the shorthand operator in a different way. See, I will explain you how we can use a shorthand operator. You have to use, whenever you are using a shorthand operator, your accumulator, your variable should act like a accumulator. Okay, let me explain you with an example. Just a minute, class. Okay, let me explain you. Like if I want to write A is equal to B plus 5. So can I write this into a shorthand form? No, I cannot write this in a shorthand form. Okay, because I cannot write A plus B plus 5. I cannot write it in that way. So if I want to write a accumulator in a shorthand form, okay, if I want to write a if I want to use the shorthand form, then I have to ensure that my accumulator and a variable, these are the same. See, A is equal to A, P is equal to P, S is equal to S, M is equal to M. Okay, and then whatever the operation we are doing. In this case only you can use a shorthand form. If you want to use here A is equal to B, then you cannot use a shorthand operator. Clear? All of you, is it getting it better? What is shorthand? So here, I hope your idea is quite clear now what is shorthand operator. Okay, now here also we come to the end of our session. I want all of you to give your attendance, means type your name and say present sir, and then you can leave the session. Tomorrow we are having one more session, okay, from 12 to 1, and tomorrow we will talk about some more operations, and then from next week we are actually going to start with programming. Okay, so our programming is now soon going to start, because I think we are almost cover all the points required for doing programming. Okay, this video